Welcome here, everybody, for today's Zoom. Today, Don is not with us. He's on vacation, owning his life. And right now we have our friend, Jim Stevens. That is, for me, he is awesome, really. He understands own your life so good. And he is duplicating everything what Don said. And I hope that you will find some ideas that he would like to share with you about how to do MLM. And I give you the voice. Please tell what you really want to share with us. And I'm very pleased to have you here. And
thank you, Adriana. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for being here. I know it's your evening. It's because we went to daylight savings time earlier than you. It's only 10:30 in the morning here, so this is pretty cool.
You're also in California, yes?
Well, I'm in Washington State, right north of California, but all on the same coast, so in the same time zone, which is good. Let's see. Has everybody here heard Don before? Like make a noise or or maybe if they have, Adriana?
I think that they have. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go on the assumption that they have. And so what I want to really do for you guys is tie some of Don's story and the principles and the techniques together into actual, like, what do you really do with that? How does it really work? And share with you some stuff that didn't work, and yet we've done really well at it. My wife Vicki and I, we've not had jobs since 1995. My prior career to that was 22 years as a financial planner, investment, and insurance guy. So in those years, I think it works the same way in pretty much any civilized country, where if you're a business owner, do you get special tax advantages in your countries as well? And I'm asking you, Adriana.
Yeah,
you can be the voice of the people.
Okay.
All right. So if I'd have been like smarter, I would have realized this thing I'm about to tell you that happened then, and why Own Your Life works now. Because when I worked as a financial planner back then, I knew that if somebody was a business owner, they would get tax advantages that would allow them to take more money and put it into savings, save it for the future, right? So I discovered network marketing. And it doesn't take that much to get into any network marketing company. And you can just do it real easily, but yet you are a legitimate business owner if you have a network marketing business. And so what I would do is get people started in a simple to do company, create these tax advantages, and now they could have another 10, 15, 20% of their income to save because they're a business owner. Well, time passed, 22 years of time, and I got sick and tired of the insurance and the financial investment and all that stuff business. And so in 1995, my wife and I went full time into network marketing. That's when we became stupid.
Why?
Okay. Because and I say that a little tongue in cheek, as we say here, because in traditional network marketing, we are taught you can lead with the business, you can lead with the products, right? It's got to be one or the other. You're either telling the story of the business or you're telling the story of your super ultra patented, triple scraped off the rocks of the northern side of a Himalayan mountain products, whatever they are. That again is tongue in cheek, because facts are, if the products don't work in a network marketing company, people won't keep buying them and that company goes out of business. So let's just say across the board, network marketing companies are a cut above what you get in stores. All right, meaning they've got to be good or people won't keep buying them. Okay, so lead with the, but here's the problem.
Sorry.
All right, so here's the problem with that. In both cases, you are selling. You are a salesperson if you're leading with your company, leading with your product. And we know that people don't want to sell normally. If you go out and ask 100 people, would you like to sell some products or would you like to sell a business idea? As soon as the word sell comes out of your mouth, no, I don't want to do that. You know, a few do, like everybody on this call. Maybe you don't want to sell, but you've discovered you can. Well, Vicki and I are actually pretty good at it. I mean, I spent 22 years doing that, and it was natural. But as Dawn points out, you can't really create a sustainable downline, a sustainable income with a bunch of people that don't want to sell if you're trying to make them sell.
That's right.
Make sense?
Yeah, this is true.
Right? And we've lived it ourselves. And yet we've made enough money to be just fine. But everybody here, I'm sure you would love to see a growing group of people who are also making money and doing fine. How do you do that? You learn a third approach. Lead with the business, lead with the products. Okay. Lead with lifestyle, lead with owning your life.
What is the lifestyle? This is the question, yeah.
Right? So then looking back, when I was a financial planner using network marketing to create a business, here's how I approached it. Mr. Client, you're saving as much money as you can afford right now. I have a way where you could save 10, 15, even 20% more, and it won't come out of your pocket. It won't cost you an extra dime out of your pocket than what you're bringing home right now. Would you like to know how that works? And Mr. Prospect said, Jim, are you a magician? I'll do anything you tell me to do if it can do that. What happened? I didn't sell it. I made a scenario where he wanted to buy whatever it was. Is it different if you walk into a store and the salesman sells you something, or you walk into a store wanting to buy what's in that store?
Yeah, that's right.
Right? All the salesman has to do is answer your, where is the stuff I want to buy? It's over there. He points, you go buy it.
Yes.
Well, that's the scenario I had created back then. And I didn't realize that I had created this, they want to buy it, I'm not selling it scenario. Don, through his own brilliance and genius, created the same scenario by asking people, have you ever considered what it would be like if you owned your life?
Showing the people the opportunity, yes.
Exactly. And it's very important that you stay in that system, because as soon as the words, if they say, well, yeah, I'd love to own my life, and then you say, well, I have this really cool company with these great triple patented products, you just jumped into sales mode. Mm-hmm. They need to hear a certain amount of information first that makes them go, aha. That's the part I want to share now, is sort of these little in-between steps, in between information. And then you can take and run with whatever you want of the part of this that I'm going to share. We had a saying back in the day, cash is king. He who has the cash is king.
Yes.
That's not true anymore. That is not true anymore, my friends. Cash is queen now. What?
What
me while
are
I
you talking about?
I'm going to take a drink of water here. With COVID over here, here's what we discovered. Cash is king until you run out of it. And a lot of people had some cash, but they didn't have enough to last for like a year and a half or 2 years of not being able to do their business anymore or not being able to go to work anymore. So a new king arrived. That king is called income. Income is king now, my friends. Income. With income, can you save up cash and get more cash if you have income? Yes. But all incomes are not equal. There is the income, we call it linear income. As long as you have a job and you show up and you go to the end of the day and bing, you complete your tasks, you get paid. That's called linear income. What's wrong with linear income? All they have to do is take away the ability to show up, shut you down. Over here, I never dreamed that it would happen, but they actually have robots that replace people. What? No more job, no more income, no more linear income. If you have to show up, and this is what I share with people, if you have to show up, do a thing, trade personal time for money, you, my friend, are in what we call linear income land, and it can be taken away from you. Let's just say it's not taken away from you, but you just, and here was, by the way, the problem with my financial planning clients. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, cooks, butchers, plumbers, all of them have to show up and do their thing to get paid. That's linear income. And so when I come along and I say, you need this many millions of dollars in the bank to replace your income when you retire, okay, let's work that out, Jim. In every single case, keeping in mind, a doctor earns more than a plumber, but the doctor needs then 5 times more millions of dollars in the bank to create the same income he had when he worked. So we'd sit down and we'd say, okay, you need, and this actually is what took me out of the business too, because I realized in almost every case, if they were really going to save up the amount of money they needed, they would have to no longer have a house, no longer eat, no longer have bills, because they have to take their whole check and save it up in order to have enough money at retirement to actually retire without a cut in pay. Is that making sense to everybody so far? Hopefully.
Yeah.
They would just have to save too much. They couldn't afford it. So then I said, what you have to have is a second income stream that you don't have to show up and do stuff for. Oh, you need a side business. We call it a side hustle, side gig. You need a business over here while you're doing your linear income job until you don't have to do that anymore. With this new income, now you can save up for retirement. Or if the income is big enough and is going to last, you don't even need savings because the income is king. When you're no longer working and don't want to work, income is what you need, not just money. Oh. So what kind of side business? There's all kinds of businesses they could do. Well, the first thing you have to do is eliminate any of them where you would have to still keep showing up. In other words, don't be a plumber over here and then decide now you're going to become a lawn and garden care person and you have to still show up with a lawnmower and weed whacker, right? Mm-hmm. You need something. So that becomes kind of a thing. What kind of business? Well, let's look at how much is this potential business going to cost to get in? And how much is it going to cost to run it? And what do you have to do? Okay, if I buy a McDonald's, I don't have to cook the burgers. Okay, do you have the amount of money it takes for the franchise fee and the property and all of the money it takes to run that puppy? But you don't have to show up and do it. Okay. Don talks about owning an IHOP restaurant for 4 years, and he had 2 days off in all 4 years. All right. So
What to do?
that's not going to work out so well, right? But if you just say, okay, how much does it cost me to get in it? How much does it cost to run it? Can I afford either of those two, for one thing? And then what do I have to do? That's the 3 criteria you have to judge by. Well, how about social marketing? What's that? Network marketing, right? And over here, now I don't know about over there, but over here, some people still believe, isn't that one of them pyramid things? Isn't that like illegal? So I tell them, and I've got a list. Have you guys ever heard of Bed Bath & Beyond over there?
But yes.
How about Office Depot?
No.
AutoZone, FedEx,
FedEx, yes.
Macy's, Land's End. How about Canon?
I don't hear about it here in Europe. Maybe in US it's more popular.
Right, Canon, Epson.
Yeah, this is well known.
Right. Staples. I don't know if you have a Staples over there.
Yeah, I heard something. Maybe people also Staples.
Bloomingdale's.
I heard something also.
General Motors.
Yes, of course.
Ford Motor Company.
Yeah.
Every one of them, plus, I don't know, somewhere around 7,000 or 8,000 other companies now. All of those market through social marketing, network marketing companies now. All of them. What? Why would they do that? Because they have zero cost involved. There's no overhead for them. It's a legit way to move product through companies that have downline who are automatic customers. Now, that's good for them, but the great news for us is that it means there's like no limit to the potential. No limit. And as far as like risk, we used to say low risk. Now it's zero risk. I mean, when you go to the store and you buy something and you walk out with your product, do you feel like a loser because they didn't send you a check? No, you got your stuff. Jim, are you stupid? I bought my stuff. I left. That's a win. I get to take it home. Well, network marketing is no different. If you're in a company, any company where you like the things that they sell and you're buying it, whether they ever send you a check or not, you still win because you get to use whatever that product is. How is that a risk?
Yeah.
No risk, zero risk. And it's pandemic proof because you can do it online. You don't have to go to somebody's house. You don't have to meet in a restaurant. So let's look, measuring against our 3 things. What does it cost to get started? I've never been in a network marketing company where the cost was any more than $2,000. Well, one, but that was a different deal. And it's like $2,000, Jim, what? And that was if you wanted to buy the big pack, which we always did. But if you want to just get started, how about 50 or $100, right? To pay your fee and buy a bottle of something and you're in. So that's what does it cost to get in? It could be zero. You signed, right? Whoa, but what does it cost to run it? Well, whatever it is you wanted to buy in the first place, keep buying it. You're covering your overhead. right? Because that's all they require, is that you be your own customer, basically. Oh, but what do I have to do? Because I would rather crawl over broken glass on a hot asphalt street than sell. And people would tell me that. Jim, I'm not a salesperson. Don't sell. If you
how to do
do
this?
yeah, if you start selling, you're messing up big time, because nobody else wants to do that. Well, then how do you do it? Wear a hat. You don't have to. There's other ways. Wear a hat, wear the pin, have the cards. Now, let's just say you don't have it. Well, you really kind of want the cards, because this becomes, I call the card my ticket to leave, my ticket to disengage. What does that mean? It means if I walk in the door or I meet a friend and the first thing I do is say, notice my hat? How about my pin? Look, I got a card that says, this is what I think it means to own your life. And I read the card to them. As the first thing I do, guess what? They're gonna question me to death, because I just showed up. No,
What?
wait until you're gonna leave, right?
What
Wait
are you
till you're
trying
gonna
to
leave.
sell me?
Right. That's exactly right. So instead, let the hat, the pin, and the card do the work. And this is so you got to get it, my friends. If you want to go from selling to letting them buy, all you have to do is let them get curious and ask you. If they start it, you can then finish it and leave. So what if you don't have the hat or the pin to create the curiosity, or they never ask? They just go, I'm not asking about that hat because I just know he's got something.
For sure.
Right? Don't worry about it. All you have to do is say, as you're going to leave now, right? You're done. Did you notice the hat? Yes, I did. Well, I just wanted to ask, have you ever considered what it would be like to own your life? No. And now, using that terminology, you're likely to get a no or a, what do you mean? Soon as they say that, we're still not selling, nothing. As soon as they say that, you say, well, you know, I have a card, read the card. And I did this, by the way. I just got these things. I just couldn't wait. So I'm in a pool match, and we had just about this same conversation, I'm telling you. And he says, well, what do you mean about the own your life thing? I said, here, read this. He reads it, and it took about 45, he's a slow reader, about 45 seconds to read it. And he goes, wow, that sounds interesting. What is it? I said, tell you what. Now on the card, I don't know if you can, well, I'll just tell you, on the card, it has my name and Vicky's name, International Lifestyle Trainers. It says it. That's not distributor, representative, or head honcho, triple diamond, deluxe. It's international sales trainer. My phone number, my email address. And on the bottom, it says, does your office look like this? And it's got the water and the boat. So in other words, no clue, right? No clue what is going on. And I told him, I gave him 2 cards. I said, give one to Kristen and you keep one. And as soon as one of you texts or emails me, I'll send you a link that will describe what we're talking about. Okay. So when he does that, he's going to see a version of the ebook and a little story. But here's the important thing. Am I selling, or is he now buying? He's buying. He has no idea, except now, can I elaborate? He says, well, what do you mean, you know, own your life? Well, the rest of this, that's the 45-second story, but you can elaborate a little bit. You're still not selling. Just look, out of every day that you have, how many of those hours in a day do you actually own? Because the rest of the time, it's my phrase, I used to use it and I still use it. The rest of the time, you are simply renting your life. If you have to show up somewhere, if you're under somebody else's rules, you have to do their thing, you don't own that time. How would you like to own all of your time? And that sets the stage. That is how you set the stage for them to get the book, to see it. I know we've got the new app that's being developed where we'll have some pretty cool new tools, but you've got to get out of trying to push product or company before they want to change their life. Once they want to change their life really bad and they understand you can control your time, you can have money. Income is king now, not cash. And what do you have to do here versus there? Because you can turn that around. What do you have to do every day for those 5, 6, 8, 10 hours, 12 hours a day that you show up now to get paid? What do you have to do? Do you love doing that? No. Well, and even if they do, would you like to have some of that time back? How about being able to say, what's the hat about? Read the card, text me, and I'll send you a link. That's what you do for this. Wow. All right. I think I'm at my time limit here.
Oh,
Hopefully
no.
you guys have got something out of this.
We have plenty of time. So if you have any questions, we can just
Yeah, I'll take questions.
such a session with questions also. If you have any, please join to the conversation.
So while they're contemplating that, here's what I really want you to take away from this. If you can get people to understand cash is no longer king. And back in my financial planning days, just to put this in perspective, you know, we had gurus back then for the financial planner people that were like, wow, they, you know, those people walk on water and they teach us the great stuff. And a guy by the name of John Sestina was one of them. And he said, if you cannot put your hands on 1 year's worth of salary in cash, you're already bankrupt and you don't know it. And we're like, what? And then he said, now put it another way. If you were out of work for a year and you even had to turn off your cable TV or turn off your phone or cut one line back off your plan or make any changes at all, no longer eat out in the restaurants you do, but you didn't work for a year, if you had to make any changes at all, you're still bankrupt. You just don't know it. Wow, harsh. Well, the cure wouldn't be more cash. You can run out of cash. The cure, and this is why I left that business and went into this full time, was because the cure is to have another income stream that you don't have to show up to do. It costs you nothing to run. And the only thing you have to do to make it work is be a product of your products and help other people understand they want to own their life. Then show them how. That's it. That's the whole philosophy in a nutshell.
I called it like identify not product or identify not to that company that you are in, but identify with yourself firstly, and then identify with other people.
Exactly. And it's so easy to do because all you have to do, I mean, is ask people those questions. You know, have you ever thought about what it'd be like to own your life? Now, Dawn had another approach, which was, do you know anybody that would like to travel and take vacations, you know, take holidays? And if they say, no, I don't, you're done. That's the other, I guess if there was another piece of wisdom with this approach is if you get somebody who is negative, I had a 3 strikes and you're out thing. What does that mean? I would give them 3 opportunities to step toward me instead of backing away. So if they go, no, I don't know anybody that travels or the wants to take vacations. Really?
It's so sad.
Okay, so how about, do you know anybody that would just like to own their time, get their time back? No, I don't. We're done there anyway, right? What have you lost? But if they go, well, what do you mean? Because your first round, if they don't know you, they may think you're a salesperson coming at them, right? So they're gonna, yeah, I don't know if I like vacations.
It's so simple selection, you know, of people.
Right. And that was a thing we used to say is say less to more people instead of more to less people, right? So how do you do that? Well, because like we're in that category almost of no friends left. There's nobody we know that doesn't know what we do. And but with this approach, you can go back to people. If you've been leading with the product, leading with the business up until now, thinking that's there because that's what everybody teaches, you can go back to people and say, hey, Don calls it the apologetic approach, which is just, look, I want you to know that I just want to share one thing with you. A system where you don't have to sell anymore by sharing, but you really need a tool, something to show them, you know, this is different, and get the card or a hat or the pin, or just, if you don't have any of the above, I'll leave it up to you, Adriana, to share the other little tool right now, the own dot thing, but something that lets them know there is a better way. And if you have to just explain it, tell them we've been leading with the product, leading with the business, that's wrong. Because it doesn't create sustainable income. We're leading now with owning your life, getting your life back, and tell a little bit of this story and you'll re-engage people. In fact, I just had a conversation where I got to meet with the guy today because I re-engaged this with him. And he's like, Jim, that's awesome. We got to talk. Because he gets it. No longer selling, pushing product or company. But you have to speak out. Now you have to start engaging people, but in a much better way. All right. That's my whole story. I'm sticking to it. Now I'll take any questions if there are any.
How do you think, when is the time that, for example, you can leave your regular job?
Now there's going to be, I know probably nobody's going to like this answer.
Okay, let's try.
All right. Seriously though, because I got asked that a lot, and because we've had a lot of people leave their jobs, some before they should have. Really and truly, you need two things. One is you really need to have a year of your own income, your job income, saved up from your new side business. And then if you, at that point, by then, the second criteria should happen, that you're at least 1.5 or 2 times your side business is earning 1.5 or double what you're taking home. Then you can leave your job.
Right answer. Thank you.
Yep.
Do you have any question or thoughts about that?
I mesmerized all of them.
Yeah, you can join here.
No, I appreciate all of you being here. It's just so much simpler, but if you again break it down, and you can again use this in conversation with people, what does it cost you now? Yeah, if they have a job, what's that job costing you? Like most of your life, what does it cost to run it? Well, all those expenses that they're spending now, right? And what do you have to do? Well, they know what they have to do. Okay, how about this? Somewhere between $0 and say $500 to start this new side business. Doesn't really cost anything to run it because it's stuff you want to consume anyway, whatever that is. You've made a decision. I want that stuff. So that one actually goes away.
Yeah.
So then what do you have to do? Ask people if they'd like to own their life and then show them how. That's it. Don't become an expert on nutrition. Don't become an expert on pain. Don't be, all that goes away.
Not to talk too much, and let's talk the tools
Right.
For you.
That's exactly right. And so I do get asked, but how, what if they want to know all the ingredients and stuff? And what if they want to know all those answers? Not a problem. That's why there's a website. You want to own your life. That's the beauty of this approach, is you want to own your life. You're looking at a business that can do that. The business has details. All those details are on that website. Now that you want to become this business owner, if I was going to buy a McDonald's franchise, I've made the decision I want that. Now, once I've made that decision and I'm moving into it, now I can learn where they actually put the French fryer. Now I can learn where the freezer is that they keep the meat in.
That's right.
Doing it the other way around, you're trying to get them through all the freezer French fryer stuff first because you've led with the business or the product. No.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The same situation here in network marketing when you start selling.
Exactly. Yep. Get out of selling mode, and it's a mental trap that you'll catch yourself in because you feel like you got to. No. What you have to do is take a stand that you're helping them own their life through a business. Their job is to learn the business, not your job to teach them that. Their job is to use the tools and the resources because they want to own their life. That's what they want. Now they can get it through this business.
How long does it take you to talk with a new person about owning your life? Is it like really 10 minutes or something like that?
No. But here's the difference though. The beginning part, which is the critical part, is the approach, showing them the tools, let them get through that. Once they're through that and they're still coming at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then anytime you spend, it's still going to be brief, okay? But really, in the first stages, if you've got 30 minutes to an hour, that's plenty that you'll spend with them. Getting them all tooled up in their head, that's where it has to happen first.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the tools do the work. And you want to really, we actually have another, like a coach that we're just finishing up with. Mm-hmm. And it was just about time and the amount of time. And his thing is the more time you spend with an individual, the more damage you are doing. And we're like, what? No. Yes. Because people can't get away from this measuring scale that says, whatever they've been doing with me, I'm going to have to do too.
Yeah.
So if you spent 3 hours with them, they're no, can't do that. So you want to be really good at saying, that is a great question. And now, if there is a resource, a recording, a video, an anything, a PDF that answers them, you say, that's a great question, and here's exactly where you get it. Mm-hmm. If there is no recording or resource, you say, that is a great question. Let's set up a time where I can create a video and I'll do your answer, but then I'm answering for everybody else in the future.
We are happy that we have Don here.
Yes.
Yeah, and
the app coming. That's right. The app is coming, and Don is a resource. And so absolutely, but that's what you want to do, is get in the practice of pointing the tool anytime you can. But you will have, an hour at the outside pretty much in that initial stage of helping somebody.
You're right. This initial talking is really very crucial.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, so let's do a photo, okay, for our Facebook post if you want, and I will send you the photos if you want, of course. Smile. Thank you. Right. I sent you also all of you greetings from Don from his
Oh, excellent.
vacation. Yeah, and I hope that next week he will be available for us for next Zoom meeting, and I invite you and your friends to join here. And thank you very much, Jim, for today. I
You
hope
bet.
that everybody were happy to hear you here, and you are sharing some fresh blood.
There it is.
And have a nice day or evening. Where are you located? I don't know.
Hey, it's 11:13 in the morning over here now.
Yeah, it's a little bit later evening. So thank you very much once again, and see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.